World of Warcraft Legion, the next upcoming expansion that numerous players are excited for, but that a handful of other players are also very skeptical about due to the hype and poor execution of Warlords of Draenor. However, in today's video, I'm going to bring to the table 10 things to know about Legion so that you guys can have more knowledge of the expansion and so you can know whether or not you want to play in Legion or just say fuck it, I ain't buying this bullshit anymore. In Legion, we will finally have the ability to tri-spec, except for druids who can quad spec and demon hunters who only have 2 specs. This basically puts an end to the legacy of vanilla World of Warcraft's ideology that you need to pick 2 specs and stick with it because now you can have all 3 unless for some reason you're that one person who has 3 protection specs for the sexual thrill. In Legion, there will be more than 1 raid per tier to offer more variety to raiders and PvEers. For example, Blizzard has stated that it might be a better course of action if they went ahead and split up large raids like Siege of Orgrimmar, where there are 14 bosses in a single raid, to 2 different raids, both containing 7 bosses, each to offer more variety with different settings and different themes so that the raiders will have the option to choose which raid they will want to attempt if they only have time to run through 1 raid per week. As stated in the 2015 Q&A panel, your artifact weapon in Legion will be essential and play a huge part of the expansion. However, just like past legendary weapons and armor such as the Cloak in Pandaria, Shadowmoor and the Wrath of the Lich King and the War Goliaths, your artifact weapon will not be something that you will wield forever in future expansions, which means that it will most likely be rendered useless in the following expansion after Legion. In World of Warcraft Legion, there will be a new crafting material known as Obliterum, which can be obtained by melting down items in a forge located in Dalaran in order to upgrade another item's power. For example, you craft 3 helmets and 2 of those 3 helmets are complete crap, while the 3rd helmet has your BIS stats. So basically what you can do is you can break down those previous 2 helmets which will give you Obliterum, and then you can use Obliterum to go ahead and upgrade your BIS helmet. The language barrier still exists in Legion, as it always has been in the previous expansions. However, in the beta for Legion, demon hunters will be able to speak demonic to each other regardless of faction. Although this is something that Blizzard is just testing out at the moment, if it performs well, it does have a possibility of reaching the live client. In the past, we have pretty much learned profession recipes and patterns by spamming the specific trainer for your specific profession. However, in Legion, you will be learning these recipes through quests from an NPC who is part of your profession's story depending on your profession, and it will tie in to the story of Legion. So whereas professions have always been something to do on your own time, isolated from whatever expansion you are playing on and any other activity relevant to the expansion, in Legion, it looks like they are trying to take professions and add some involvement and relevance to it. The class order halls will serve as a secondary hub for players aside from Dalaran. Here, players will be able to upgrade their artifacts, obtain access to special quests, and send their champions out on missions. However, unlike the garrison, the order halls are open realm-wide to all characters of that specific class, including characters from both factions. One of the professions that are going to be impacted dramatically is inscription, because they are removing major glyphs entirely. However, minor glyphs will be kept in the game, but their function will also be changed because now you will apply minor glyphs to your spells directly to augment their effects. Another thing that the class order halls will be able to offer to the players is content that is unique to your specific class. For example, warriors will have a sparring arena. However, some things that the class order halls will not offer include auction houses and banks, so that it forces you to still go to Dalaran, unlike in the garrison where you can literally do anything and have everything and anything you want and need without seeing the light of day. Transmogrification is going to be something that will be submitted to a few positive changes, at least they're positive in my eyes. First off, with the new transmog system, players will be able to unlock pieces of gear after it is looted and bound in the wardrobe for future transmog purposes. This means that you don't have to worry about depositing and withdrawing gear in your void storage, and you can sell the gear because it's always going to be sitting there in the wardrobe regardless for your transmog needs. Also, with the wardrobe, players can even access reward gear from quests that they have been offered in the past, but that they might not have chosen at the time. So say you did this quest and it offered you an axe, a sword, and a mace, you chose the mace. So you can still transmog the axe and the sword that you did not choose at the time. Also, you will now have the option to hide shoulder gear in addition to cloaks and helmets in case like if you're a Tauren or an Orc and it's too big, or maybe it's too small and an undead and you don't like the way it looks, you can basically hide it. And that's it for this top 10 list, guys. I realize that it's short, but that's all the more reason to go ahead and make a part 2 in time when I read up on more up-to-date information worth mentioning about for Legion. But regardless of that, hopefully you guys did learn something new from this video that you didn't know about before watching, and hopefully it gave you some more insight on whether or not you want to go ahead and play Legion, or if you're 100% not interested at all and you're like, fuck it, fuck Blizzard, I don't want to give them another chance, fuck them. Whatever your opinion is, guys, I thank you so much for watching, and like always, peace out, take care, and as always, have a good one.